Hello to all my friends, subscribers, non-subscribers. Well, it's afternoon here, so good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. Hello. I'm going to continue with this distraction from the current events that are going on. And we're going to look at the 7 wonders of the ancient world. So, the 7 wonders of the world, or the 7 wonders of the ancient world, is a list of remarkable constructions of classical antiquity by various authors and guidebooks of poems popular among the ancient Hellenistic tourists. Although the list is in its current form, did not stabilize until the Renaissance. First is such a list of the wonders date from the 1st century BC. The original list inspired innumerable throughout the ages, often listing 7 entries. The original 7 wonders, only one, the Great Pyramid of Giza, also called the Pyramid of Khufu, known to the ancient Greek as Cheops, who was the ancient Greek monarch who was founded as the second patriarch of the 4th dynasty in the first half of the Old Kingdom period. I don't want to offend by saying his name wrong. He succeeded his father Stephanu as king. He is generally accepted as having commissioned the... So after who built it was the oldest of the ancient wonders, remains relatively intact. The Colossals of Rhodes and the Light House of Alexandria. So the Colossus of Rhodes, we'll have a look at this one now. We had a look at the Light House of Alexandria on the last video that I did. And the mausoleum at Halicarnassus, the Temple of Artemis, and the statue of Zeus were all destroyed. The location and the ultimate fate of the Hanging Gardens are unknown, and the speculation that they may have not existed at all. The site that they give, it just looks like a patch in the middle of the desert that they've just picked out to... It's like they've done with the Ark, to where the original Ark is. They've given a fake location. So we've got here the Greek conquest. Much of the known Western world in the 4th century BC gave the Hellenistic travellers access to civilizations. The Persians and the Babylonians, impressed, captivated by the landmarks and the marvels of the various lands, these travellers began to list what they saw to remember them. So, instead of wonders, the ancient Greeks spoke of thaumatia, which means sights, in other words, things to be seen. Can't even say that word. Later, the word for wonder, or wonders, was used, hence the list was made to be the ancient world's counterpart of a travel guide. The first reference to a list of the 7 such monuments was given by Diodorus Siculus, between the 60s and 30 BC. He was an ancient Greek historian. The Eptimus Antipater of Sidon, who lived around or before 100 BC, gave a list of such monuments, including the 6 of the present list, substituting walls of the Babylon for the lighthouse. Substituting the walls of Babylon for the lighthouse. I have gazed upon the walls of the impregnable Babylon, along with its chariots may race, and on the Zeus by the banks of the Alpheus. I have seen the hanging gardens and the colossus of the Helos, the great man-made mountains of the lofty pyramids, and the gigantic tomb of Belus. But when I saw a sacrificed horse of Artemis that towers into the clouds, the others were placed in the shade, for the sun himself has never looked upon its equal outside Olympus. Greek Anthology. Another 2nd century BC observer who claimed to be a mathematician, Philo of Byzantium, who was a Greek engineer and physicist, later a writer on mechanics. He lived during the later half of the 3rd century BC. He wrote a short account on the entitled 7 Sights of the World, however incorporated surviving manuscript only covered the 6 supposedly 7 places which agreed with Antipater's list. Earlier and later the list by historian Herodotus, 484 BC, Common Era, 425 BC, and the architect Camillus of Cyan, 305 to 240. Cyan was an ancient Greek and later Roman city near present-day Charlotte, Libya. It was the oldest and most important in the 5 cities in the Greek region. It gave eastern Libya the classical name Crynesia. I'm sorry, I know I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. That it has retained to modern times, located nearby the ancient necropolis of Cyan. The Museum of Alexandria survives as only references. The Colossus of Rhodes was listed as this was the last of the 7 to be completed after 280 BC and the first to be destroyed by an earthquake in 226 to 225 BC. Hence, all 7 existed at the same time for a period of less than 60 years. So we need to look at what happened into those 60 years for them all to be destroyed like that so quickly. Scope. The list only covered the natural, scriptural and architectural monument, Mediterranean and Middle Eastern regions, which then comprised the known world for the Greeks. Hence, extant sites beyond this realm were not considered as part of the contemporary accounts, the primary accounts coming from Hellenistic writers, also heavily influenced by the places upon the wonders list. 5 of the 7 entries are celebration of Greek accomplishments in the arts and architecture, except for being the periods of Giza and the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. So we've Great Pyramid of Giza, date of construction 258, 84, 25, 61 BC, builders Egyptian, still in existence, majority of the facade is gone. Apparently there was a big gold thing on the top of it. Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the BC, evident, Babylonians, or the Assyrians, Hannibal and Nineveh, Iraq. I had a look at that, it just looks middle of nowhere. Temple of Artemis and Ephesus, statue of Zeus at Olympia, a figure about 12.4 meters, 41 foot tall, made by Greek sculptor Phidias around 435 BC at the sanctuary of Olympia, Greece, erected in the temple of Zeus there. So it's been disassembled and reassembled at Constantinople and later destroyed by a fire 5 to 6th century AD. Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, tomb built between 350 BC. Colossus of Rhodes was a statue to the Greek sun god Helios, erected in the center of Rhodes, Greek island by the same name, by Charles of Lindos in 280 BC, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. It was constructed to celebrate Rhodes' victory. And the Light House of Alexandia is the video that I did before and turned into a beautiful star fort. So influence the architecture, arts and architecture. 7 wonders of Angela's list. 1 praises for its notable features, ranging from superlatives to the highest and the largest of their types to the artistry which they were executed. Their architectural and artistic features were limited throughout the Hellenistic world and beyond. The Greek influence in the Roman culture and the revival of the Greco-Romanian artistic styles during the Renaissance caught the imagination of European artists and travellers. Paintings and sculptures among the Antipodes lists were made, while adventurers flocked to the actual sites to personally witness the wonders. Legends circulated to further complement and superlatives of the wonders. Modern list of Antipodes wonders. Only one that has survived to the present day is the Great Pyramid of Giza. Its brilliant white stone facing had survived intact till around 1300 AD. So it wasn't only that long ago that it lost its outer side. When the local communities removed most of the stonework for building materials, the existing of the Hanging Gardens has not been proven, although theories abound. Records and archaeology confirm the existence of the other 5 wonders. The Temple of Artemis and the statue of Zeus were destroyed by fire, while the Light House of Alexandria, Colossus, and the tomb of Molossus were destroyed by earthquakes. Among the artifacts to have survived are sculptures from the tomb of Molossus and the Temple of Artemis in the British Museum, London. I'd love to see what's in the British Museum. They've got so many old ancient things there. Still, the listing of the 7 most marvellous architectural and artistic human achievements continue beyond the ancient Greek times to the Roman Empire, the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, and the modern age. The Roman marshal and the Christian bishop Gregory of Tours had their versions, reflecting the rise of Christianity and the factor of time, nature, and the hand of man overcoming Angelo's 7 wonders. Roman and Christian sites began to figure on the list, including Colosseum, Noah's Ark, which I've just said before, it's not the real place, Colosseum, and Solomon's Temple. In the 6th century, a list of the 7 wonders was compiled by St. Gregory of Tours. The list included the Temple of Solomon and the Pharos of Alexandria, and Noah's Ark. Modern historians working on the premise of the original 7 ancient wonders list was limited to its geographic scope, and also had their versions to encompass the sites beyond the Hellenistic realm. From the 7 wonders of the ancient world to the 7 wonders of the world, indeed, the 7 wonders label has spawned innumerable versions among the international organizations, publications, and individuals based on different themes, works of nature, engineering masterpieces, constructions of the Middle Ages, etc. Its purpose has also changed from just a simple travel guidebook or a compendium of curious places to lists or sites to defend and or preserve. So, okay, so also the 8th wonder of the world. I didn't even know they went to the 8th wonder of the world. So at the top, we've got, what have we got here? 7 of the 8 wonders of the ancient world, from left to right, top to bottom. Okay. The Great Pyramid, the Hanging Gardens of Bambon, Temple at Atmos, State Olympia, Mausoleum at Halicarnasse, Colossus of Rhodes, Light House of Alexandria. We don't build like that anymore, do we? So this is the time frame, and they were all destroyed within 60 years. It's just unreal. And so 1300 AD, I think I read that correct me, I'm not sure, but not that long ago the casing was removed. This is where they think the gardens, Temple at Atmos, and the mausoleum, the statue of Zeus, Colossus of Rhodes, Light House of Alexandria, Great Pyramid, Giza, Memphis. In this painting by Martin van Helmsmeek, the 7 wonders of the ancient world are depicted as a background for the abduction of Helen by Paris, the Walter's Art Museum. Beautiful picture. There's so much in there. This, a picture says 1,000 words. You could break that down into a lot of stories, what we see here. Absolutely beautiful.